A heart that sees. Beyond Margaret had always believed that life's greatest gifts often came disguised as ordinary moments. At 32, she worked quietly as a librarian, her blonde hair catching the afternoon light as she helped children find their favorite stories. She had long, wavy hair that framed her gentle face and kind blue eyes that seemed to see the good in everyone she met. Her colleagues at the library thought they were being clever. "Oh, Margaret," said Janet with a mischievous smile. "We've arranged a blind date for you this Saturday. His name is David Chen. Well, let's just say he's very successful." What Margaret didn't know was that this was meant as a cruel joke. David Chen was indeed successful, a widowed CEO who had built his company from nothing. But he was also a devoted father to his 7-year-old daughter, Emma. The women at the library had heard he was looking for someone to date, and they thought it would be amusing to set him up with Margaret, whom they saw as too plain, too quiet, too ordinary for such a man. Saturday evening arrived with a gentle autumn breeze. Margaret chose her favorite pale pink dress, simple, modest, with short sleeves that showed her natural grace. She arrived at the upscale restaurant feeling nervous but hopeful, as she always did when meeting someone new. David was already there, his dark hair styled neatly, wearing a charcoal suit that spoke of success but somehow didn't seem to define him. Beside him sat a little girl with shoulder-length brown hair and the brightest smile Margaret had ever seen. This was Emma, though Margaret didn't know her name yet. "You must be Margaret," David said, standing as she approached. His voice was warm, genuine. "This is my daughter, Emma. I hope you don't mind. I couldn't find a sitter tonight, and honestly, anyone in my life needs to understand that she comes first." Margaret's heart melted immediately. "Of course not." "Hello, Emma," the little girl beamed up at her. "Daddy said we're having dinner with a nice lady tonight. Are you the nice lady?" "I hope so." Margaret laughed softly, settling into her chair. What followed was not the awkward blind date either of them had expected. Margaret naturally included Emma in their conversation, asking about her favorite subjects in school, her drawings, her pet goldfish named Sparkles. David watched, amazed, as his daughter, usually shy with strangers, opened up completely. "Miss Margaret," Emma said during dessert, "do you like stories?" "I love stories. I work in a library helping people find the perfect books." Emma's eyes grew wide. "Really?" "Daddy reads to me every night, but sometimes he does funny voices that make me giggle." David chuckled, a slight blush coloring his cheeks. "My dragon voice apparently needs work." "I think fathers who read to their children and make them giggle have the most important job in the world," Margaret said quietly. Something shifted in David's expression. Here was a woman who understood what mattered most to him. As the evening progressed, they discovered small connections. Both had lost parents young. Both believed in the power of small kindnesses. Both found joy in simple pleasures like Sunday morning pancakes and watching old movies. "Daddy," Emma whispered loudly, "I really like her. She smells like flowers and she listens with her whole face." David looked at Margaret, really looked at her. He saw past her modest appearance to something far more beautiful, a woman with a generous heart, genuine warmth, and the rare gift of making others feel valued and heard. "Margaret," he said suddenly, his voice filled with an emotion that surprised them both. "I know this sounds crazy, and I know we just met, but would you consider marrying me?" The restaurant seemed to pause. Nearby tables fell silent. Emma clapped her hands together in delight. Margaret blinked, certain she had misheard. "I'm sorry, what did you say?" David reached across the table and gently took her hand. "I've been looking for someone for so long, not just for me, but for Emma. Someone real, someone kind, someone who sees people as they truly are." "In 3 hours, you've shown me more genuine care and understanding than I've experienced in years of dating." He paused, gathering his thoughts. "I know it's unconventional. I know people will think I'm crazy. But I also know that life is unpredictable, and when you find something good, something real, you don't let it slip away because of what other people might think." Margaret felt tears gathering in her eyes. "David, think about it," he said gently. I'm not asking you to answer tonight. I'm asking you to consider building something beautiful together. A family. A life where kindness matters more than appearances. Where Emma gets the mother she deserves. And where two people who understand what really matters can create something lasting. Emma tugged on Margaret's sleeve. Would you really be my mommy? Because I asked God for a mommy who would like books and be nice to Daddy and maybe teach me how to braid hair properly. Margaret looked at this little girl, so hopeful, so trusting, and then at David, whose eyes held no pretense, no games. Only honest vulnerability and possibility. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I would be honored. The proposal made local news, not because it was dramatic, but because it was different. A successful businessman proposing to a librarian on their first date, with his daughter present, in a room full of strangers who had expected a joke and witnessed instead something profound. But for Margaret, David, and Emma, the real story was quieter and more meaningful. It was about recognition, the rare gift of being truly seen and valued for who you are. It was about understanding that love doesn't always follow conventional timelines, and that sometimes the heart knows what the mind is still figuring out. 6 months later, they married in a small ceremony at the library where Margaret worked, surrounded by books and the gentle afternoon light that had always been her favorite. Emma was the flower girl, carrying roses just like the one her father had given Margaret that first night. And Margaret learned something that took her breath away. Sometimes, when people set you up as a joke, life has the last laugh by giving you everything you never knew you were waiting for.